Yeah, we were
hand in.
like cuddling.
This almost kind of keeps us separated too, having this in here. You know what I mean?
Start with that.
I'm going to start down here. I better do it.
Shh.
Oh no, I just heard some sad news.
What's wrong, Jessica? Why are you so upset?
It's just awful. I just heard that Pastor John and Miss Janie are leaving our church. Why would they leave us? They just cut out. And I'm on
Just
it.
keep going. He'll fix it.
Where have you been, Jessica? That is old news.
Where have I been? Where have I been? After the Kids of the King program, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central, some crazy woman puts me face down in a box and I can't see or hear anything for days. And then, when the crazy woman comes back and I finally get out of my box, I never get to say what I want. And I have to follow some written script.
Well, I understand your concerns, Jessica, but let's get back to the bad news.
What bad news?
Jessica, you said you just heard some bad news. Read your script, Jessica. Miss Jordan, can you help her?
Oh, yes. The script again. Why would Pastor John and Miss Janie want to leave us?
Thank you, Jordan. Our pastor and his wife have been serving here and in other churches for many years, and they've decided it's time to retire. That's why Hunter and Courtney are here. Pastor Hunter will be taking over soon.
And what exactly do we know about these new humans? For instance, does he preach past noon? Can she play the piano? Do they even like kids? Do they believe puppets are like real?
Travis, they're sitting right there in the audience. Why don't you ask them?
Nah, I really like getting my information secondhand. It's more fun that way. I always forget that's me next. I won't stop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they'll be allowed.
You know, this is a needy bunch of people here.
Okay, we kind of roll through that, but let's
do it again.
Let's start from the top.
Hey, did you come off that book?
Yep.
Hey, I'm having a hard time, like, talking and moving my hand to read the
I'm
script.
going to lay these so that I can get a chair.
Okay.
I can give you the right one at the right time.
Now,
How did I do, Jordan? Like,
Sandra, when I do that, on the second page, I want you to be able to hold it for me, because I want to be able to take my hand and
And
use
do
my
some
hand
on page
when I'm
2.
saying they're sitting right there.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take my hand and point at them.
At the bottom of the first page?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
So if you want to mark that.
Okay.
Did I not?
I don't have the first page.
I've got first.
Trade me pages if you're starting over.
Starting over. Thank you. That was perfect, by
Is
the
there
way.
any way
Thank
I
you.
can get mine?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard when you have one this. Thank you.
All right, we're going to try and go through it without stopping. It's our last time.
Okay, here we go. No stopping.
Dress rehearsal. You want to count us down, Rodney, when you're ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, no. I just heard some sad news.
What's wrong, Jessica?
It's just awful. I just heard that Pastor John and Miss Janie are leaving our church. Why would they leave us?
Where have you been, Jessica? That's old news.
Where have I been? Where have I been? After the Kids of the King program, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central, some crazy woman puts me face down in a box and I can't see or hear anything for days. And then, when the crazy woman comes back and I finally get out of my box, I never get to say what I want. I have to follow some written script.
Well, I understand your concerns, Jessica, but what about the bad news?
What bad news?
You said you heard some bad news. Read your script, Jessica. Miss Jordan, can you help her?
Oh, yes, the script again. Why would Pastor John and Miss Janie want to leave us?
Thank you, Jordan. Our pastor and his wife have been serving here and other churches for many years, and they've decided it's time to retire. That's why Pastor Hunter and Courtney are here. Pastor Hunter will be taking over soon.
And what exactly do we really know about these new humans? For instance, does he preach past noon? Can she play the piano? Do they even like kids? Do they believe puppets are like real?
Well, Travis, they're sitting right there. Why don't you just ask them?
Nah, I really like getting my information secondhand. It's more fun that way. Well, you know, this is a needy bunch of people here, and Pastor John and Janie have spent a lot of time with them in waiting rooms, living rooms, and funeral homes.
Yes, that's right, Travis. But not just these humans. I remember the time when I had to have some surgery to repair some of my stuffing. The seamstress said it would be difficult to do by hand, but she did it because, well, I once had a bad experience with a Singer sewing machine. The point is, Pastor John and Miss Janie sat with me through every stitch.
That reminds me of the time I had to go see a psychologist. You see, I thought I was going crazy because every time I talked, it was like someone else was speaking, like some unseen hand was guiding my actions. Anyway, I'm much better now, but the point is that Pastor John and Miss Janie stuck by my side and helped me get through a tough part of my life.
Well, you're not the only one, Travis. Pastor John and Miss Janie have helped a lot of people in this church, and frankly, some of them have needed a lot more help than you two did.
But Uncle Don, I thought Pastor John and Miss Janie loved us. Why don't they just slow down a little and stay with us?
They do love us, Jessica, and I think they have proven that by the way they have demonstrated Christ's love to us. But, well, okay, do you remember the time you went away to camp for a week and your dad had to come and get you?
Yes, I do remember that. But that's just because I was lonely for my family.
Exactly, Jessica. Where does Pastor John and Miss Janie's family live?
Ooh, I know. They have family up north somewhere.
Oh, no. Mom said that everyone who lives on the other side of that Masonic and Dixie line are Yankees. And Yankees do some strange things like they don't eat grits and they put sugar in the cornbread instead of their iced tea where it belongs.
That can't be right, Jessica. Everybody eats grits. Besides, you'd have to throw out that cornbread and the tea. And none of that is even biblical.
Whatever. I'm just telling you, Yankees aren't normal, bless their little hearts.
Okay, you two. I think you're getting off target here. You are right, they have family up north, actually in New York State. But their children live in Oklahoma and Texas, and they want to be closer to them.
Yeah, but their children have lived away from them for a long time, and that didn't seem to bother them until those grandchildren came along.
Ah, I'll bet that's it. Grandchildren. Besides, the Beamises have lived in the South so long, I bet they'll never move back to New York. I don't think they like Yankees either.
If Pastor John moves to Oklahoma, he would fit in with those cowboy boots. Besides, if they go back up to Bemis, New York, they will probably put them to work in the family business, making seats for potties.
Okay, Travis, you seem to be getting off course again. It's Clymer, New York, not Bemis, New York. And Pastor John's family does not make toilet seats.
Travis is always getting off course, Uncle Don. I've been trying to straighten that boy out for years.
Okay,
you know he's ADD, right? The stories I could tell you. Sometimes I have no idea where he's going, so I just go along for the ride.
Jessica, hold on just a minute. Can either of you two kids tell me one thing that Pastor John has tried to teach us since they've been here?
1, 2, 3. Love God and love others.
Okay, how are you two living out that in your daily lives?
Well, It's pretty easy to love God because he doesn't talk back or get on my nerves. But some of these people in this church, well, let's just say that most of them, they aren't nearly as spiritual as I am.
Jessica.
Sorry, Uncle Don. God is really still working on me. But I'm trying to do a better job of loving God and loving others. And I am doing a better job of that this year than I did last year. And I hope to do an even better job next year, which is something else that Pastor John taught us.
Well, if Pastor John leaves, does that mean we have to stop doing that lethargical stuff? You know, like when we pass around those pieces on Sunday morning.
First of all, Travis, the word you're looking for is liturgical, not lethargical. And we pass the piece, not the pieces.
I sure am going to miss those hugs from Miss Janie and Pastor John's lethargy.
Whoa, just a minute. Are you sure Miss Janie will go too?
Travis, I'm sure she will go with her husband.
But wait. Who will text us when someone needs help or prayers or, sorta dies?
What about special events and other things happening in our church? Oh, does this mean we will have to start reading the bulletin again? Or maybe even listen when that boring old man makes the wrong announcements on Sunday morning?
Boring? Old?
Don't worry, Uncle Don. I'm not talking about you. I was just talking about a human being.
Okay, apology accepted, I think. I guess our church has been spoiled over the few years with our Miss Janie texts. But I can tell you, as an old, boring grandfather, I understand why they want to be closer to their grandkids. Okay, kids, we have a lot to pray for. Prayers for Pastor John and Miss Janie as they build a new house and prepare to move. Prayers for Pastor Hunter, Courtney, and our church during this transition. Prayers for the programs in our church, like our small groups, our Kids of the King, and our Wednesday night teen service.
Bye, Pastor John. I guess I'll see you when I see you.
They aren't leaving right now, are they, Uncle Don?
No, they're not leaving right now. But I do need to go because I have a lot of things to do. See you later, kids.
Okay, Jessica. I'm still so confused. So we are telling them bye, but they're not leaving. We passed the piece, not the pieces. So is it liturgy or is it lethargy?
I think my stuffing is coming out again.
I may need that counseling. The voice is coming out of my mouth is not mine, and that hand is back. Pastor Hunter, we need to talk. No, check that. Courtney, we need to talk.
Just look at us. We are falling apart already, and our pastor hasn't even left Flintstone yet. This is going to be bad. Real bad. Now I'm going to need that counseling too. Courtney, I know you don't counsel church members, but I'm not a member, and I'm obviously not human. So there's that. You got just a minute? Is there a minimum? This is going to be bad.